to the center of the star. And now the helium atoms take center stage. As they fuse together, they produce even more energy and form yet another new element, carbon, a vital building block of every living thing. The process repeats itself over and over, and the star becomes layered like an onion. A really big onion. The closer to the center, the heavier the elements, like neon, oxygen, and last of all, iron. Now things change. Iron doesn't produce energy when it fuses, so the fire begins to go out. More and more iron builds up in the star's core until almost all the remaining fuel runs out. Now gravity takes over and squashes the star in on itself. As its core gets more and more compressed, its temperature soars until it's over 100 times hotter than the core of our own sun. Finally, the star collapses and explodes. This is a supernova. The death of a star and the birth of something new. In these brief microseconds, a massive shockwave passes through the star. The blast is so powerful that it forces some of the iron to fuse into even heavier elements. And that's how heavy elements, such as gold or platinum or lead, are made, forged in the heart of an exploding star. So if you have a gold ring, make sure you appreciate it. The metal was made in a blinding flash of light billions of years ago. The finale of the process that produced the elements all around us today. It never ceases to amaze me that our bodies are constructed of the stuff of the stars,
and that our hearts beat because of the energy given off as those materials are made. But as magical as a star is, there are even more fascinating and powerful things in our enormous cosmos.
Around 300 million years after the Big Bang, the early stars began to form galaxies, which slowly took on a bewildering variety of shapes and sizes. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is thought to be one of the oldest, having started to assemble itself some 13 billion years ago. It's roughly 6,000 billion miles in diameter and contains something like 200 billion individual stars. Nobody's quite sure exactly how many, since they can't all be seen from Earth, and anyway, it would take a long time to count them. Because all these stars were built by gravity, you could say gravity's the hero of the universe. After all, it turned a meaningless soup of gas into something of beauty and power. But like all interesting heroes, gravity has its dark side. Right in the center of our galaxy lies an example of what happens when gravity rules unchallenged. When I was in my 20s, I did some of the basic
mathematics of black holes, but few people shared my fascination. These days, they are a popular subject.
Physicists all over the world are studying black hole behavior. We now know that black holes are not only fascinating in their own right, but that they play a fundamental role in the formation of galaxies. They also give us a glimpse of how the universe may end. A black hole forms when a large star, one say 20 times the mass of our sun, comes to the end of its life. Such a star looks nothing like our sun because it's become unstable, convulsing violently as its death throes begin. Finally, it runs out of fuel and begins to shrink, getting denser and denser, hotter and hotter. But with a star this massive, there is no force in the universe capable of stopping the collapse. The core is so heavy that it just keeps on falling in on itself. Gravity is running wild. In just 15 seconds or so, the unstoppable force crushes the star from millions of miles in diameter to as little as 12 miles in diameter. All the mass that was in the star is still there, but its own weight keeps forcing it down smaller and smaller still. The temperature of the core soars to 100 billion degrees. The outer layers are blasted away in a massive supernova.